Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm Cindy with Dare to Be Artsy, and I'm so excited to be part of the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo Giving Thanks event. I love this time of year, and it reminds me of a quote, "Let our hearts be full of both thanks and giving." I'm so thankful for all my friends in this creative community, and as far as the giving part goes, let me show you a couple fun cards that you can make to give to your friends and family. For these first two cards, we're going to use the Autumn Oasis collection. There's dies that match the stamps, but they also cut the images right out of the paper. Here's the large flower, and here's the small flower. Now I'm going to take the stamped images. I've stamped the large flower and the small flower, but we're just going to color the small one for now. We're going to start with the peach colors. We're using 𝐒𝐬𝐳, R22, and R12. And I'm going to start by just using the lightest color, and I'm going to use the illustration to kind of guide me as to where the shadows in the flower are going to be. It's got a lot of detail in it, but don't let that intimidate you. Just start filling the color in. With the Copic markers, I like to use 3 shades, light, medium, and a dark. For really small areas, I might just use 2 colors. Let's just zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you to see. And again, I'm going to just saturate the back with the lightest color. When the paper is saturated, the colors are going to blend a little bit better. And again, I'm just going from the inside out using flicking motions. And I keep rotating the flower as I'm coloring. It just, I think it works better that way. Again, this is the lightest color. And I'll continue to go back and forth between the 3 different shades. Again, I'm using the lines, the illustrations to guide me as to where the shadows are going to be. So it really makes it easy. Take the darkest color, and this one I won't go out quite as far. Just keeping that really dark area close to that center and rotating. And then go back in with the lightest color and blend all the way out. This is going to make it look a lot softer. You can already see that the flower starts to look like it's 3-dimensional and has some curve in it. And the more color that you put near the center, it's going to look deeper, and the flower is going to have more dimension. So we're going to use the green. I'm using 𝐤𝐺63 and G94. And I'm just doing the parts of the leaves that are touching the peach flower. So I'm leaving a little bit of space in between, and we're going to put some blue in those areas afterwards. Just filling it in with the lightest green. And keep rotating. Then we're going to take that darker green, and I'm just putting a little bit in the areas where I think there'd be more of a shadow. And this is going to make those leaves look like they have a lot of dimension as well. And then back in with the lighter color, blend some more. And I'm kind of doing this fast, so you could keep blending so it's a lot smoother. Then I'm going to take the light blue and put that in the center of the flower. And we're going to come back in with our R22 and add that in. The packaging for the stamp set also has some illustrations on the back of it to give you some more ideas. But you can also just follow along with the paper too. If you like the colors in the paper, you can use that as a guide. I'm coming in with a little bit more of the dark red around the center of the flower and adding a little bit more dimension to these outside petals. So this really has added a lot of dimension to the flower. And there you go. Now we're going to go ahead and start our card. We're using the 8.5 by 7.5 basic size for a slimline card. We're using our wavy slimline framelets. The outside border is what I cut the blue with. And then we're using the wavy frame to cut the flowers out. And then the two inside banners are going to be used for our sentiment. I put some foam tape on this paper. We're using our Naturally Elegant and our Floral Mandala papers, which are part of the Autumn Oasis collection. I love foam tape. I think it really adds to a card. So we're just going to center this on this one. Now let's go ahead and layer up the banner. I'm going to just put some tape on the back of this piece and lay this flat on the peach panel, the peach banner. The Thinking of You sentiment came from the Flower Mandala stamp set. Now we're going to take the large flower, and again I used the die that matches this whole collection to cut the flower right out of the paper. And we're using the foam tape to pop the flower up. I love the back side of this paper as well. It's a great pattern that you can use on so many different things. Now we're going to put some foam tape on the back of the banner, and you'll notice I just put it on the right side, not the left side, because I want the banner to pop up, but I don't want the banner to hold the flower up. So we're going to use the foam tape on the flower, so they're going to be all the same level. So we're just going to position that so you can still see your sentiment. And then we have the small flower. Again, this came right out of the paper. So we can position this so that you can layer it so you see both flowers separate. But I kind of wanted to just give the one flower a lot of dimension. So I'm bending the edges so it's really going to kind of curve up. And I'm going to center it right over the large flower. I'm going to use some foam tape, pop it up. And again, I'm just going to crinkle those up even more. I really want that flower to jump off the page. And then I'm going to rotate it slightly so you can still see a little bit of the peach flower behind it. Now let's go ahead and do something to the inside of the card. We're going to use these little flowers, and I've cut 3 of them out of the paper. We're using the Naturally Elegant paper, and the dies are going to cut those flowers right out. And then I put some foam tape just on the back of the flower part, not of the stem. The strip at the bottom of the card is the 1/2 inch that runs along the top of our 12 by 12 paper. And then you can line these up straight, run them across the bottom. I'm going to angle them a little bit. Putting a little liquid glue here along the leaves and the stem. And we're just going to tuck that in behind that little strip at the bottom. So I think that makes a nice touch for the inside of the card. Now let me show you a few more examples using this Autumn Oasis paper collection. And here's a great page layout. And look how nice all those papers work together. And then here's another one. So I think you're going to really have a lot of fun with that set. Here's a card using that same collection, and we're using the Well Wishes sentiments. And then these sentiments all fit in our leaf background die. Here's another example using the Happy Birthday. And we've paper pieced the little leaves back into that die. And then the bird fits in this. This is from our Little Birdie stamp set. And the die will cut that bird right out. Even the little wing you can pop up. And then here's the Paisley Peacock paper, same collection. And the dies are going to cut that stamped image out as well as the peacock right out of the paper. For the next card, we're going to use our Swirls and Stripes die with our Paisley Peacock. First, we're going to take our paper that's 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4, and then we're going to rotate the paper, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4 inches. Then fold the paper down, give it a nice crease with the bone folder. This is a standard A2 size card. We just put the folds in a different place. So now we're going to take our paper and cover the top panel. What's nice about this collection is that we have larger prints on one side of the paper and smaller prints on the other side of the paper. So it gives you a lot of versatility. Now we're going to take the same banner that we use out of our wavy framelits die, and I've stamped Many Thanks on it from our Paisley Peacock stamp set. And we're not using the banner part of this strip, but I wanted the little detail, the little stitched detail on the top and bottom of this green strip paper. So we're just going to center it over the blue. And you can see along that border the nice pierced look to it. It's got a nice finished look. And then there's a teeny little flower that is die cut out of the paper. And we're just going to pop that up at the end of the word thanks. And then we're going to just snip off the ends. And then attach it to the front panel. And this time I'm just going to do this flat, but you could pop it up. Next, we're going to take the peacock. We can either use the peacock that's cut right out of the paper or the stamped one that's colored in. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and use the one out of the paper. I've also die cut a blue piece of paper with the same peacock shape. And I'm just going to layer these so that it has a little bit of a shadow to it. Now I'm not going to attach this yet until we do our bottom panel. So for the bottom panel, we're going to use our swirls and stripes die. The outside piece I did in blue, and then the detailed piece is in a cream. And I've gone ahead and glued that on. Now we're going to cut the two pieces together. So I'm just going to line that up so I have a nice border. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but you want to try and get that straight. Now this piece you can use for later. We're going to use the swirls because I thought this kind of had a feeling of water with those swirls. We're going to attach this to the bottom panel. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the cream part. And here I'm just going to use score tape. So I'm going to line that up with the crease and then just snip off the ends. Then I'm going to put a little bit of score tape on the outside edges, just not along the top, just on the outside edges, because we're going to create a pocket. So now you can put a gift card in there, but also you're going to be able to tuck in the top panel. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our little peacock. And I'm just doing this flat as well. And then I'm going to tuck it down in so it looks like it's floating in water. And then you can open it up, put a gift card in, and there you go, kind of a little fun fold card. Here's another example using the peacock stamped and colored in and using the same paper collection. And I just wanted to show you another fun way to use the stripes. You can run your ribbon through that die. The yellow is cut from the outside piece. So we've just taken a bag and we're going to fold the outside piece in half. This just makes a great little candy bag. I'm just going to put one staple in the middle of it to hold it in place. And then we're just going to glue this top piece on to the yellow. And I'm just using some liquid glue. And this will make a great little candy topper. Now, you may not have any more Halloween parties to go to, so get ready for Christmas because here is a great little candy topper for Christmas. And this one we use the swirls. Now here's just another example of our paper collection using our wavy slimline framelits, which I love. It has so many different pieces to it. This is our Harmony stamp set. And then this one is our new Toboggan stamp set, also using the wavy slimline framelits. You're going to really love all of our new slimline dies. We have 6 new dies. This is our snowflake, works great on scrapbook pages. Then we have these waves. We also have our Just Chillin' stamp set and the Just Chillin' dies. And here this makes a really fun slider card. It's using our snowflake and our waves. And this is the curves. And I love the little scallop part of this. Now let me show you just a couple more samples. We have our Holiday Village stamp set and our Home Sweet Home stamp set, which will make a great thank you card. And this Holiday Village will make a great Christmas card. Both of them are using our new wavy slimline dies. You can find these at 𝐤𝐻𝐴𝐧𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿.com. Check out all of our slimline dies and our fall paper. And if you use the codes FALL75, you'll get $10 off. And if you use FALL35, you're going to get $5 off if you spend $35. So have a great week, and I dare you to be artsy.